How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to another ARJ golf video. Today we're going to be talking about the difference between how a 15 handicap player plays golf versus how a scratch golfer takes their approach to golf. We're going to be talking about our decision making off the tee box, how do we approach different greens and find our safety spots, and finally, how do we read certain greens to ensure that we're getting ourselves the best chance at a two-putt. All right, here ahead of us we have a very short par 4. Most players think driver's the play here, trying to get us as far as we can. But as you'll see on the map that I provide here up to our left, that there is a lot of hazards on this hole, right? So the correct way we should play this, knowing that there's hazards up the left and the hazards up the right, is to find a club that keeps us in the fairway and takes that treble out of play, even if that means to lay back a little bit. So the way we do that is find a number that you're most comfortable with. For me, on this hole right here, I'll probably be hitting a 5-iron considering it's only 320 yards. That gets me to a nice comfortable 120 to 115 number, which will give me a better chance to hit the green on my approach shot. Hit that out a little left, but that's totally fine. That's why I took a club that wouldn't get to the hazard out there. Let's get up there and see how do we take our approach in those approach shots. One thing you're going to notice a lot of today is a lot of the ways we get our handicap down from, let's say, a 15 down to even a 10 is mostly going to be because of decision making on the golf course. So we're going to cover a lot of that today. In the meantime, if you have made it this far into the video, please feel free to like and subscribe. I do post a lot of tips like this as well on my Instagram, so feel free to check that out. But let's get back into the video, see how we can lower our handicap without having to change our swing. So as we get up to the golf ball here, I'm 138 yards from the pin. That being said, I know my pitching wedge goes 140 and my 9-iron goes 150. Right now we're in the middle of the winter. For this situation, I'm going to be hitting my 9-iron because as you could tell, that pin is very, very tucked up behind that bunker. Most players would take a club that would try to land right on that number, but we're not tour pros. We can't always land on that perfect number all the time. So it's always better to take more club to ensure that you're going to get onto the green versus putting that bunker in danger. The second thing we look at as well is to find our miss. Most of the best players in the world don't strike it perfect every time, but they have a consistent miss that they know where they can play in order to maximize their strokes gained on their approach shots. For me here, I know that pin is tucked front and left. I play a draw being left-handed, so my ball shape is going to be from left to right. So I'm going to take it right at the pin, aim-wise, and if it draws back, it should be on the middle of the green. If it goes straight, it'll be just fine, just long past the pin on the green. Where I'm trying to aim for is anything right of the pin on the green. Safely on the middle of the green. This brings us to our third step. Now that we're on the green, how do we tell where this putt is going to be going? One thing we want to take into account first, how far is the putt? One thing I see a lot of great players do is they will pace out their putts from the pin to the hole, right? So they'll take their steps, 3, 4, 6, 7, 7-ish steps, times that by 3, probably around 22 feet from the pin. Not a bad spot there. But as we look, how do we tell where we need to be aiming? The first thing I do when I go into my green reading is I like to make sure where's my high side and where's my low side. Here in this situation, even by just staying on this green, I can tell my high side's on this side, my low side is this way. Knowing that and the way that gravity works, the ball should fall from right to left. What I like to do as well as we're getting ready to read these greens, pick a target where you want your ball to start. For me, as I'm looking at this putt, I probably want to play this ball just about a cup out to the right. The last part in green reading that's very important and overlooked is pace control. You can have a great line with poor pace and you'll never make the putt. One thing we want to focus on while we're on the greens is to make sure we have a very, very confident feel for the pace. Once we're ready to make our putt and we get lined up, our only goal is to try to stop this ball somewhere around 3 feet of the cup, whether it's short or long. 3 feet is a very, very high probability that we will make that next putt coming back. Just a little low, but now that that pace was a lot better, this is an easy cleanup for a par. So let's recap. The easiest way to get us from a 15 down to a scratch is to eliminate doubles. The way we do this: smarter decisions off the tee box that ensure that we hit more fairways, smarter decisions as we approach the greens to find our big miss, find your Texas, right? Find a spot where you can hit your ball confidently and know that even if you don't hit it well, you're going to be in a fine and okay spot. And third, green reading and pace control. If we could follow all three of those principles out on the golf course, you will see your strokes drop dramatically over the next year. Thank you all for watching. Feel free to like and subscribe, as I'll be posting more tips like this to help lower your score without having to change your swing every single time. If you found this helpful, feel free to leave a comment down below. I will be responding to as most of those comments as I can. Thank you all for watching, and we'll see you later.